They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. But in rock and roll, some photos are worth 1,000,000 stories. If you grew up with a radio under your pillow, or bought your first LP with money from your first job, these moments are going to feel like coming home. From the roaring stadiums to the quiet, private moments before history was made. Today, let's take a look back at 20 moments that defined our generation. Let's start with the ultimate symbol of rock grandeur. Here's Jimmy Page in 1970 with his signature Gibson double neck. This wasn't just for show, it was a necessity. It allowed him to switch from the delicate 12-string intro of Stairway to Heaven to that blistering solo without missing a beat. But while Page was mastering the stage, another guitar legend was finding peace in the dirt. And that was George Harrison. By '74, the quiet Beatle had escaped the noise of the industry to restore the gardens of Friar Park by hand. He often said he felt closer to God in his garden than anywhere else, a stark contrast to the absolute excess happening on the other side of the Atlantic. Like this moment aboard the Starship. This is John Bonham, Jimmy Page, and manager Peter Grant on their private Boeing. It had a bedroom, a bar, and an electric organ. For a few years, Zeppelin didn't just rule the radio, they ruled the skies. But even at that altitude, rock and roll is built on the rhythm section. Here are two of the greatest drummers to ever walk the earth, caught in a rare moment together. Bonham and Keith Moon shared a wild sense of humor. In fact, it was Moon who joked that a band with Page would go down like a lead balloon, accidentally giving Led Zeppelin their name. Sadly, we lost them both too soon. Rock and roll brings strange people together. Take New York in 1973. Alice Cooper meets Salvador Dali. A collision of shock rock and surrealism. Dali was so fascinated by Cooper that he created a holographic portrait of him. But sometimes, the most magical meetings happen between two guitar giants. Like this shot of Eric Clapton and Jerry Garcia. British blues precision meeting the psychedelic improvisation of the Dead. They seem miles apart stylistically, but the mutual respect here is undeniable. But whether you played heavy blues or far-out psychedelic jams, one truth never changed. Great songs always find their way through the noise. And that's exactly what happened next in Hamburg. Dire Straits in 1978. While punk was screaming for attention, Mark Knopfler stepped up with a clean Stratocaster and a quiet voice. Sultans of Swing proved that in an era of noise, pure craftsmanship never goes out of style. Just like this next iconic look. Pete Townsend in 1967. That Union Jack jacket wasn't a high-fashion custom design, he just found it in a second-hand shop. He didn't know it then, but he was creating one of the most enduring visual trademarks in British history. Coming up, we'll see the exact moment a Rolling Stones classic was born in a motel room, and the heartbreaking truth hidden behind a smile in Fleetwood Mac. Stick around, the second half only gets better. Let's get back to it. Here are the Stones on their first US tour. It was on this trip, in a motel in Florida, that Keith Richards woke up, grabbed his guitar, recorded a fuzzy riff into a tape recorder, and fell back asleep. That groggy moment became, I can't get no satisfaction. History, made in pajamas. Tom Petty had that same stubborn spirit. In 1982, he went to war with his own record label, refusing to let them hike the price of his album, Hard Promises, by $1. He threatened to withhold the tapes until they backed down. They did. He never sold out his fans. That's the kind of integrity Bruce Springsteen built his career on. Here he is around 1975, before the stadiums. He earned his reputation the hard way, playing marathon sets in the gritty bars of the Jersey Shore until sunrise. This is the look of a man building a legacy, one night at a time. While Bruce owned the East Coast, these guys owned the South. The Allman Brothers around 1972. The label wanted radio hits, but the band insisted their magic was in the long, improvisational jams on stage. They stuck to their guns, and at Fillmore East became a legend. Harmonies weren't always peaceful. Here's a rare early shot of CSNY. Their voices blended perfectly, but the tension, especially between Neil Young's electric edge and the group's acoustic roots, was always simmering. That friction is exactly what made the music so brilliant. Sometimes you have to start over. After the Beatles, Paul McCartney didn't rest. He packed his new band, Wings, into a van and played unannounced shows at universities, charging pennies at the door. He was willing to be a working musician again just to feel the spark. By the 80s, the icons were close friends. Here are Freddie and Elton sharing a laugh. They had playful nicknames for each other. Elton was Sharon and Freddie was Melina. Behind the massive personas, they were just two friends who understood the lonely view from the top. But not all backstage moments were full of laughter. This photo of Stevie Nicks looks gentle, but look closer. The world knows the Rumors album for its perfection, but the band remembers it for the emotional wreckage behind it. And yet, in the middle of that storm, someone caught this quiet, human moment. Speaking of storms, here is Johnny Cash, moments before walking onto the stage at Folsom Prison. His label hated the idea. They thought it would ruin his career. Cash didn't care. He connected with those men, and the album didn't just save his career. It became an American classic. It all comes full circle. Here is Bruce Springsteen inducting Bob Dylan into the Hall of Fame in '88. Bruce said it best. Bob freed your mind the way Elvis freed your body. A perfect tribute from one generation to the master of the next. And finally, Live Aid, 1985. Paul and David backstage, two titans who shaped the world, sharing a moment of camaraderie and competition. It's a snapshot of mutual respect at the absolute peak of the rock and roll era.